You too. This is Jerren Lauder, everybody!
Woo! Woo!
This is Jerren's first time. Who knows? It might be our last.
It's heading that way. So far. No, thank you for having me on.
No, I'm so pleased. Jerren is our creative executive. We work very closely together for the ISA, don't we, Jerren?
We sure do. And we love it.
We love it!
And I watch all the time. You and Max do your thing.
Do you?
I do. Now,
oh, no.
It genuinely is an honor to be doing this.
Oh,
thank you, Max, for all you've done. And thanks for being you, Max. And we miss you.
Yeah, he's actually in Wisconsin. He's home visiting his family. It was his mum's birthday. Going out for dinner with them, I think, tomorrow. And seeing, there's only 30,000 people, I think, in Wisconsin. So there's not so much like, so that's kind of a good thing. We're here for Wednesdays. We've got a couple of new segments. I'm really glad that EJ kind of came to come and play. You actually asked that the other day. And if you were wondering who the mysterious person was that responded to you on the ISA website, it was me. I was like, oh, that's me. Well, on Wednesdays, we're coming back. Don't worry. So I want to say thank you so much to our lovely sponsors. Let's start there. I've managed to get them. Well, actually, this is a cheat. Max actually put them up on the screen before we left.
Yeah, we both Felicity and I have no idea how to do any of this stuff.
No. Absolute rubbish. But we can do talking. Just about do talking.
We can just about do talking.
Yeah, we can pull that off.
We can. We sure can.
Yeah. So I want to say thank you so much to Steel Wines. We're drinking a Pinot because it was a screw top. And that's literally, I felt like anything I could do that meant I had less to do. I was going to go for it. So anyway, this is lovely Shooting Star Lake Country Pinot Noir from Steel Wines. Please go to the website. They deliver. Or you can buy them in several stores in downtown. We're going to pour that in a minute when Diane comes in. And then our other sponsor is
Stowe Story Labs.
The most fabulous Stowe Story Labs. And this is why Diane Lansing, one of our top 25 screenwriters to watch of the ISA, is here, because she is a Stowe Labs participant.
She sure is. We are lucky enough to get to pick a fellow every year.
Yeah, the ISA.
For Stowe Story Labs. It's quite an honor to do so.
Yeah, very much
we do have a little blurb to read about Stowe Story Labs.
Yes, a little blurb.
And we'll get through that. And we'll have some other announcements. And we're bringing on Diane, who has been to Stowe Story Labs, and we're going to talk all about it. As well as filmmaking.
Directing,
screenwriting, directing, writing,
flinging something up, Jamiroquai.
All of it.
I mean, the good news is you can't catch coronavirus from us now. I'm touching you, I'm touching you, I'm touching you, and nothing. So that's good to know. This might be how we interact with humans now from moving forward.
It honestly, it might be. It for real might be. Yeah, this is it, you guys.
One other person.
This is it.
As it is, no one has touched each other. We said hello. I mean, we're a bit close right now, but we literally did jazz hands hello.
We did.
Yeah.
I've been doing it all day. Yeah. Anyway, Stowe Story Labs. I'm going to start.
Okay.
We'll switch up.
Yeah.
Stowe Story Labs. Our partners at Stowe Story Labs are in their 8th year of workshops, labs, and retreats for top emerging screenwriters and filmmakers. They are offering 5 programs during 2020. This is our 5th year partnering with the labs to host an ISA fellow to attend the Stowe Narrative Lab.
And we are proud of this fellowship partnership as it helps deserving applicants attend. 2019, Valerie Pishkov won the ISA fellowship. She had to say this about the labs. The whole experience was energizing and enlightening. Like most writers, I've spent most of my screenwriting journey alone in a room, having the chance to be in a community with so many brilliant minds felt like a much-needed breath of fresh air. I'm proud to be part of the Stowe alumni community and look forward to future screenwriting adventures. She's eloquent.
She is very eloquent. She's great. Great writer, too. The labs... going off screen here. The labs work endlessly to focus on building a community, a network of people who can take what they learn and get their work made and seen. They find connections with other participants and industry mentors. In addition to meaningful content, the labs promote a spirit of collaboration and pushing forward. Mentors slated for their 2020 programs include Academy Award-nominated creative producer Amy Hobby. You want to take the next one?
Maven's Picture Head of Development, Jenny Halper.
TV1's Head of Development and TV Producer Robin Green Arrington.
And the Tribeca Film Institute Head of Scripted Programs, Bryce Norbitz, along with many others. Founder David Rococo refers to... Is that right?
I think it's Rocio?
Rococio. I think Rococo.
It's now Rococo.
I mean, I'm sure David won't mind. Sorry, David. It's a lovely name.
It is lovely. And he's a lovely person.
Yeah. Refers to the labs as a sort of virtual co-op. Meaningful content, collaborative environment, and a community of talent. that's there forevermore. We encourage all our members to look it up.
We do. We genuinely love Stowe Story Labs. Everyone we've managed to pick, Diane included. David Wappel, we should mention as well.
Yeah.
We got to pick 2 last year, which was awesome. On top of Valerie, we got to pick David. They all.
Be careful banging the thing. You make the thing wobble.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Guys, I apologize. It's my
It's
first
not
time.
an earthquake.
It's my first time. David Wappel, Diane, Valerie, all of them. They've been great, and we're going to talk more about that very soon.
Yeah, just so you get a bit of an idea about what it's like. Also, is it worth to apply for fellowships? I mean, you've done a few of them, haven't you, Diane? So this is going to be, we'll get the top scoop on that. Then a couple of other things. Table Read My Screenplay genre competition, the new season. Compete in your own genre. Early deadline March 12th. The entries accepted in the genres are comedy, drama, historical, biopic, horror, sci-fi, action, adventure, mystery, crime, thriller, launching April 16th.
Yeah, so we're running. You can. We have 3 different genres. This is the first time we're doing this year.
It's all new.
All new. Just like me being here, everything's changing, guys. Table read. We're doing genres. So right now we have 3 different genre categories you can enter into, and that's comedy, drama, and then historical biopic. On April 16th, we're launching the other 3. That's horror, sci-fi. That's one category. Action, adventure, and then mystery, crime, thriller, all that good stuff. So we're going to have winners across every category. The genre stuff seems to be where writers want to be playing in these days.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Playing in your own field.
Exactly. And we love it. So, go.
Cheap genre winners get $1,000. One grand prize winner goes to the Austin Table Read Festival to have a live read of their script. And let's get Diane in for some wine. Diane! Lansing! We've got one more announcement, but we might as well do that while we're pouring. So here we go.
While Felicity goes to pour the wine, this is Diane Lansing.
You got to come in a bit, Diane.
I'll come in a bit.
Okay, lovely. The wine glasses are as big as our heads, so I'm sorry, Diane. It will kind of slightly cover your face. Look,
That's okay.
disappeared.
Literally covers your entire head. That's incredible.
Look at the size of those sausages.
Oh
Max,
my
we're
goodness.
using your glasses.
They legit just look like fish bowls on screen right now.
Do you want to do your shoot your short thing? Joe?
Yes,
I do.
so it's back, you guys. Shoot Your Short, which the ISA has run before, is back. We've been doing Shoot Your Sizzle, but we are switching over to Shoot Your Short for a
I
bit.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, that's great.
We figured it's a great way to get some shorts
Mhm.
made on the festival circuit.
Nice.
We have an entire production team in place. We've got post-production on top of all the money and prizes we offer. It's genre agnostic for this first one. Any genre, we're just looking through and just finding the best writing. We got a director and DP in place. I just had lunch with them today. They're fabulous. What we're trying to do is set up the whole production team so as soon as we pick the winning script, which will be in June, we can hit the ground running, get that made, get it on the festival circuit. It's kind of it's very exciting for us because I think it's a way for us to truly spotlight writers and their writing. And I know a lot of people want to make shorts and are making shorts. There's a lot of equipment and stuff out there and digital cameras, everyone knows. But we are offering a lot in terms of post-production and stuff like that too, which is hugely important, as Diane can attest to, color correction, editing.
The thing is, you will actually have it. It will be done. You will have the thing. We will be with you. We will hold your hand and we will make the thing.
That's so great.
And then you'll have it.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So
And then,
to do with as you wish, and then for also we want to start our own production credits. So it's kind of like it's a win-win for everyone.
Nice.
Yeah, so we're
Very
currently accepting submissions. It's 5 to 15 pages is the max, and I do say that because I want to homage Max again.
Homage.
But it's also the maximum amount of pages is 15. So please show us what you got. We are so excited to read short
On the
scripts.
screen. I mean, don't literally show us what you've got. That'd be rude. Anyway, cheers, everybody.
Cheers.
Happy Wine Wednesday. Thanks for being our guest, Jerren.
Well, that
cheers
sounded
to
pretty.
you.
Cheers.
Cheers, cheers, cheers.
I think this would be an excellent time to introduce our new segment,
Ooh.
Wine Wednesdays.
Wine.
WHINE.
Yes. Wine.
And that is where we are going to do one wine about writing.
Yes. We just wanted it to be a bit of participation from you guys. We love hearing from you if you've got any questions. And I mean, it's a bit different because Max normally does all the kind of questions about log lines and stuff like that. So he really fills that in. But if you have questions about other things we're talking about tonight, do pop them down and we'll try and respond to them. The other thing is, if you have a whine about being a writer, please let us know. We just want to get the opportunity for you to get it off your chest, and we'll just have it. So think about that, Diane. What's your little whine? And then we've also got our wahey about writing, which is Wahey Wine Wednesdays, which of course was my idea.
Yeah, we need to talk about this. Diane, do you know what wahey is? Right, I didn't either. Felicity picture is it like...
But I heard her going, wahey! And so I figured it was good.
It is good.
So
we wanted to counterbalance the whining about writing with something good about writing.
Yeah.
But that's a very British
terminology, yeah.
Wahey Wednesday. So,
Wahey.
I heard you say it in my head when I
right, everyone gets the intent.
Yeah.
It's a good thing. But we want you all to talk about your whines about writing. What's one thing that we want you to vent and complain. We want it, people... There's a community here. We want people to be able to talk about writing and what's bothering them. And at the same time, what is exciting about writing?
Yeah,
what's a
what makes
wahey?
you happy about writing?
Diane, would you like to
Yeah, I mean, I
Be
feel
the
like...
first?
Which one?
let's do a whine.
The wine?
Why?
What my biggest one is not about writing. It's about people saying, so can I see something you've done? And if you don't have anything, they make you feel like it's like a hobby. It's something that you just do.
Yeah.
That you don't spend hours and hours and hours of your life doing it.
Yeah.
That bugs me.
So the actual physical thing.
Yeah, because I
have
love my
scripts.
process. I like what I do, and I feel really excited about it. But when someone goes, so have I seen it? And I go, oh, no. And they go, oh.
That's a crappy thing to say anyway.
Yeah.
Even as an actor, they go, what have I seen you in?
Exactly.
And I'm like,
same
how
thing.
can I get into your mind to see the television shows that you have seen so that then I can try and think if I've been in one of them?
Right.
I just feel like it's a shitty way to put you down.
It really is.
And I feel like they don't do it to accountants. They don't go, have you got any...
Have they seen your work?
Yeah. A big problem you've just solved me. Can I see that now?
It's an excellent point. It's one of the only jobs in the world where people just go, oh, cool.
Mm-hmm.
What have I seen you do?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just like, I don't know. Get out of here.
Yeah. Who cares?
Yeah.
But anyhow, that's mine.
It's a great one. That's a great inaugural wine.
Yeah, it's a great one.
Yeah.
You go next.
I think for me right now, currently, I have a co-writer. We're embarking on our 2 new projects. It's Second Acts, which I always whine about.
Acts.
But not to get too into the weeds on it, but yeah, Second Acts are just always they're tough and they're interesting and I think my co-writer starts at the beginning and I start at the end and we work and meet in the middle.
Oh, interesting.
But Second Acts always end up being kind of a
Amalgam.
yeah, and we have to go in and kind of change that stuff.
So what do you do at the beginning or the end?
I usually start at the end.
Right.
And that... You said right very knowingly. Like there's a joke I'm not in. The way you were like, right.
Right. He wants to know how it ends every time.
Well, that's just so we know what little setups and stuff we have to put in. You know?
No, I like it.
Yeah. That's my wine right now. Just right now. Second Acts.
So he does all the character development from the beginning and you do everything, the art that happens at the end.
Pretty much, yeah.
I like that.
What big themes and messages we need to hit and also just set up.
You do that ahead of time with each other.
Yeah. But then it's the writing, I start at the end. Kind of. And we work and meet in the middle. Anyway,
nice.
Second Acts. That's my wine.
Second
That's
Acts.
my little vent right now is
Second
Acts. Yeah.
Mine is I have a little short that I've written that I think it means one thing and the people that have read it think it means something else.
Yeah.
And I think that is that's a bugger, isn't it? Because also they were like, oh yeah, but really it's about this. And I'm like, actually, I would like to make it ambiguous so they could go your way or my way.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's my way.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
But I would like them to, so that anyone watching it can then have that feeling.
But that's good that there's question.
That is good.
That's a good thing, I think.
But they were like, we have to know for shooting it. And I'm like, well, for shooting it, then you don't want to do it the way I want to do it.
But you can't plan that anyhow, because then the actors get in and then they have their perspective.
Yeah.
And
Exactly.
it's
Everyone's opinion's
changes
all gonna be a stew.
Constantly evolving, changing,
Yeah.
getting more fabulous, quite frankly.
Usually.
Well, cheers to wines.
Cheers to wines.
That was our wines.
Do you have any wines? I don't know if anyone's even commenting. I can't. I'm trying to find out how to log on to the ISA website. I think I should have done that in advance.
So we wanted to break up the announcements with the wines, but we do have two more announcements quickly. We also still are running the creative screenwriting contest. Regular deadline is March 31st. It's only $39 to enter right now. We are also accepting entries on Coverfly, which is still fairly new for us. So please, again, submit. We love reading. $39 kind of can't be beat. Creative screenwriting contest. Doing the genres again. I believe we have 10 genres. So have at it.
Come and play.
Do
So
it.
I just want to say hi to Clinton. Hello, Clinton. Everyone wave at Clinton. And Matt EJ, that's it. He writes drunk, edits sober. Editing is not fun. So I think that's EJ's
Nice.
wine. Editing is
That's a great wine. I have done the drinking and writing. I've literally written in my favorite bar, because I've so many, literary history people go and do that. It is fun for a little bit, and then it gets not fun, and then you gotta edit.
Well, then you're going.
For me, I'm like, what does that say? I mean, literally down into it.
That's a great wine. Thank
Yeah.
you, AJ.
Yeah, like it. So we've got Diane here today because I thought it'd be quite nice for you to start to be introduced to our top 25 screenwriters to watch, and also if we have someone who has been an ISA fellow, done something that we're talking about as the things that we are sponsors at the beginning.
Yeah.
It's really quite nice for you to actually experience.
Really nice for me.
What
Because I experienced it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I started with Max. I was taking writing workshops with Max Tim. And
We know him.
Yeah.
Hey, Max.
That's
Another call out.
And then the ISA he became connected with that, and I did.
So you knew him before the ISA?
Yes.
So that must be over 6 years then.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Right, okay.
Yeah. And now Max is my mentor and helping me with developing my work. So that's been a godsend for me because it's great to have someone say, "All right, could you get that done in 2 weeks?" And you go, "Okay."
Oh, it's the best.
It's
Accountability.
really
I
good.
know.
It's really
Yeah.
good for me especially.
Yeah.
So I
Is
like
he a hard
that.
taskmaster?
No, he's but you want to show up for someone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You want to.
Sure.
So it's my delight to come through. And when I don't, I send these self-deprecating.
Yeah, my leg fell off.
Max, yeah.
Yeah.
But so the ISA has just been fantastic, and I've tried to get into the Stowe Story Lab 3 times before I
wow.
finally did. So
Really?
that was my claim to fame when I got there. David thought that was so funny. He tried 3 times.
Persistence pays off.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But it was the most wonderful experience, and I'm so grateful to it. First of all, I had not worked on pitching because you sit in your room and write, and you don't pitch.
No.
Which is a thing that a lot of writers don't think about, and it is one of the most integral parts about being a writer.
Yeah, once
is being able to pitch.
yeah, and
your vision.
and
Sell yourself.
yeah, so they really got into great support. You pitched to 4 different groups or 5 different groups. 4 different times. It was so, and you had to just power it
Yeah,
out.
explain the setup. So you get there. Is it residential? What kind of like?
Well, we stayed at hotels, and then everybody gathered at the lab, and they served the most amazing food. So the food was fantastic.
I'm glad about that.
And wine, and it was
This part I wasn't aware
It
of,
was
but now
fun. It was fun. I
Yeah.
mean, I have to say, it's almost the top thing is that everybody was so genuine and sharing.
Mhm.
We had to give our scripts ahead of time to 2 people that we had never met, and I had 2 very young people reading my scripts, and I was a little all right, well, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see
Young
what they have
people.
to say.
Millennials.
They were freaking brilliant. They gave me
Yeah.
such good notes that I left Stowe with a better sense of my script. It was a
Right.
better script.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was there was so many different aspects to it. But the fun was right on the top there. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you stay in hotels.
And Stowe is gorgeous.
Yeah,
That's
where
what I was going to
that?
say. Is where is it? Where are you guys all
Stowe,
congregating?
Vermont. It's
Oh, Vermont.
everywhere you turn, it gets prettier and prettier, and it's oh
Mhm.
gosh.
So you actually get a time to go away and really concentrate on your writing too. So you're not kind of
Yeah.
balling the socks or cleaning the oven hood because you're supposed to be writing.
I would say you'd get.
Yeah.
I'd say it was more time on your process.
Right.
Those are the labs. There's retreats that they also do that are 5-day retreats, which I'm hoping to do this year.
Mm.
And that you really work on the writing, where you are given notes and you rework and things like that.
Yeah.
That's my understanding anyhow.
Yeah.
But the lab was multifaceted. You had one-on-one with mentors. There was a lot involved, the pitching.
How many fellows are also there with you?
Oh gosh.
I believe there's like maybe 30 or 40.
I was going to say 50, but
Okay.
Wow.
yeah,
That's
but
nice.
it felt small.
It
Yeah.
still felt very intimate.
Yes, very, very, very. Maybe
So-
there was less. It just, I don't know how to judge them,
So when you get there, and you said 2 people read your script already. Like,
Uh-huh.
so how do you break up into groups? Like, what do you do?
Well, those were one of the first groups we
Okay.
broke up into, was
Okay.
getting the notes from these 2 Stowe
Gotcha.
participants.
So you know what groups you're going to be in even before time, so that you
Yeah.
have time to read your scripts and
Yeah.
then you get there.
But then
Okay.
the pitching groups, you are I think I was with 4 other people or 3 other people. You stay in that group. Oh gosh, who? Now I'm going to I think you stay. I'm confused if we stayed in that group or we switched it up a little bit. But you saw every mentor and had to pitch to every mentor. They
Wow.
broke it up. They broke
Wow.
it up so that
Yeah.
you did mix it up.
Well, I guess that's the thing, isn't it? It just takes away your shyness of one.
Yeah.
Oh, you have
getting
to get
out
over
there,
it.
Yeah.
You have
And then
to.
2, it really hones the storytelling.
Yes.
So you actually get to say,
And that's
what
their
the
goal too. They're not their goal. They never. It's not judgmental. It's not. It's supportive.
Yeah.
And keep going, keep doing it. And the mentors, sometimes they'll be really tough, but that's what you're going to deal with. You know?
Exactly.
oh my
Well,
goodness.
that's what I was going to say. Is like the benefit of that is the big difference is like when you write something, even a pitch, and you send it, and you don't know what. When you're pitching 2 people and you can see their
Oh my
eyes,
God,
you
start
can
to glaze
see,
over.
yeah. You can see when there's like where you can see literally where people are losing interest, or oh my god, I need to change this, or
And they'll tell you.
that's what I mean. That's beautiful though. That's perfect. They're there to be tough and tell you that stuff.
Yep.
It's hugely beneficial.
Yeah, it's
I
great.
can't impart enough how much writers need to know that to be able, not only for themselves, because that's the other thing about pitching, is I think people think of pitching is pitching your vision to other people,
Sure.
and it is, but I feel in working through your pitch, it's also hugely beneficial to your own writing, because you can go like, what is it actually that I'm writing about? What is actually the core thing I'm trying to get at? So that's fantastic. Yeah.
That was great.
And like you say, you did feel differently about the script by the time you
oh yeah.
finished.
Oh yeah. Well, when I got back, I did a rewrite.
Well, I know
Nice.
we also spoke about it because you said that you chose a script that you wanted to work on, not one that you were completely happy with.
Right. And I, in fact, I applied again with something that I'm very much in process in rewriting, and I explained that, but I just said, but this is what it is,
Yeah.
So they're open,
Yeah.
I like that.
especially to the lab. I think the retreat, they want something that's a little more polished, so that
Sure.
they can, yeah.
Okay.
And the
get it.
labs are 4 days, and the retreat's 5 days.
That's amazing. What would you think you took away? What's your best experience about that you think you took away?
I think the pitching,
Right.
I do,
Yeah.
and the camaraderie, and I have friends now from Stowe.
Yeah, that's incredible.
And
Yeah.
I go to the website and get there's so many the writers are so generous with information, like festivals and things that they want to share, and so you go to the websites and you get the sharing and the different just like, again, festivals, film.
Well, I think it's community, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think that's the whole thing that we want to do for the ISA, and I think Stowe also has that very much that same kind of feeling. Is that they're not hi, goodbye, slam. You know, what I mean, get a boot print on your bottom as you get like kicked out the door. Thanks very much, but goodbye.
Absolutely.
This is much more like, hey, here we go.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
actually sharing and creating a community and kind of finding each other
Right.
is actually how you get stuff done. I mean,
Right.
Jerren has just written and directed us.
Right. Well, I was going to say that and then you were a writer director too, but so you would know this too. But the labs, I think, what you just talked about, the camaraderie. It's almost like when you make a thing too. When you make a film, there's just kind of this special bond you develop with these people,
Mhm.
right? That you just have that forever. You have that thing you guys all shared.
Right.
And
If it's cold, if it's terrible, if it's wonderful.
exactly.
If the food's good, if the food's shit. I mean, like,
exactly.
it's everything, isn't it? It does
Yeah.
become a little family.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's no wonder everyone's always snogging inappropriately. I was going to say hi, Phil Parker, and hi, Shayna, and writer girl Karma. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
This is a new little thing, one thing we're doing. So, but like, okay, so community.
Yeah.
We talk about this a lot about the ISA. So you met Max and then became part of the ISA community.
Yeah.
What do you think it gives you as a writer?
Well, again, community. I love Third Thursdays. I've met actors. I've met producers. I've met all sorts of other writers and people that are in the business that we share ideas, and they're interested in what you're doing, and you're interested in what they're doing. Also, you've had great speakers.
Right.
Like, who's the woman from last?
Shannon.
Oh, she was amazing.
Yeah, she's one of our fast track mentors coming
Oh my
up.
gosh.
Everyone should know.
Yeah, she's Shannon.
Oh my God, I forget your last name. Shayna will know.
Shayna, put it in the...
Shayna. Shayna, please help us.
So, but she gave I wrote down a lot of notes from her, and
yeah,
she was great.
I think it also makes you realize that you're not alone. I mean,
Yeah.
like, I know communities, that kind of thing. But, I mean,
It's a good thing.
When you are getting out there, trying something new, putting your work into the environment, being brave, revealing yourself and your ideas, to actually have someone that's also doing it with you that you can talk about, it makes such a big difference.
At all success levels, that's what I have found too, is like you can just be pounding away at your keyboard and like, this isn't, even if it's going well or not, there's something so nice about talking to other writers that have had major success, and they are still dealing with all the same stuff you are. That's
I know,
the thing.
doesn't end.
It
Yeah,
doesn't
no, it
end.
doesn't.
They're always dealing with the same stuff, and that's what community can do too. Is just going out there and talking to people and going like, oh, well, you're dealing with the same stuff I am. Like, so we're all trying to attain the next step. Next step, everyone is.
I agree, and I think that's back to your point earlier when you said when people make you feel like you're not a proper writer. The difference with that is that if you are writing, you are a writer, and it's the same with actors. I mean, when I've been working with actors as a coach, they'll sometimes be like, "Oh, well, it's not really acting." I'm like, "Well, if you are going to auditions, that's what actors who are getting paid are doing. If you are doing the work, that's what actors are getting paid doing. You're just at a different level, and maybe you can enjoy it in a different way because you're not having to go do some shitty show where your agent has to send you, and you have to go and pretend that you want to be a high school dropout or whatever it is. You're 28 and got to pretend you're 17 and
That's my dream.
A girl with a backpack.
To just pretend I'm 17 again?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh, no, I've paused at 28. 27. Hi, Lisa. Nice to see you. Love Lisa Long. She's amazing.
Hi, Lisa.
Hi. She's we have a lot of really nice people on here on our little Wine Wednesdays community, so I really appreciate that too. So we were just going to talk a bit about filmmaking now, because Diane is raising money and is going to be producing another one of her shorts coming up.
Yes.
It's not her first. And Jerren has just completed a horror feature himself that he wrote and directed.
Yeah.
So, and you actually found the person you co-wrote with, other than your co-writer that you already write with. So how explain you and Jesse, and then we've already done he gets the end.
I have a co-writer, Jesse. Hi, Jesse, if you're watching. My best friend also. Besides my wife.
Good save.
We have a co-writer. I have a co-writer. We found Jay Goldberg, one of the top 25 writers, through Third Thursdays, when I came on to work with the ISA. And he had a lot of connections in the horror community. Jesse and I were kind of headed that direction. We started in comedy and fell in together and developed something that we got sold, and I got to direct.
Yeah,
and we just finished post-production. Everything was done in Salt Lake City, Utah. It's being shopped to buyers right now. There's some exciting things happening, but I can't talk about it right now. but it was a magical, sometimes frustrating, sometimes very maddening experience. But
was that your first feature?
It was my first feature.
Wow!
Yeah.
Congratulations!
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, and it was what I'd love to talk to you about is because I went to film school. I was like, I'm going to be a director, and then very quickly it was just like you burn so many bridges. There's so much money that goes into it. You're always begging people for you're begging people for favors. You're doing all that stuff, and I kind of gave it up. I had done some shorts and some series for Fox and like all sorts of cool things, but still wasn't making any headway. When I met my co-writer, I was just like, let's just write, because you can just write. You know what I mean? You don't have to, and it was fun.
Get permission.
And so this kind of came up. This opportunity came up and has reignited that love for it. And I'm so grateful and thankful I got the opportunity to do it. But I'd love to talk about writing and directing, because a lot of writers for the ISA are just writing, and that's great, and that's one thing, and that's kind of our bread and butter. But the writing something that you're going to direct, there is a difference to that.
I consider myself a writer, director. The little slash there.
You're a slash.
Sure.
You're a multi-hyphenate.
Yeah, but I think of myself as a director for the stories I want to tell, and it's not even all the stories I've written. I've written, a 7 screenplays, but there's a couple that I would like to direct, but not all of them. Do you know what I mean? There are some stories that I just feel they're kind of mine, and no one's going to see it that way that I can see it.
Yeah.
But that's I'm not. I didn't go to film school. Still, I was on YouTube going, "How do you do this?"
Well, but the thing is, honestly, and everyone says this, and I didn't know this till you get the experience. Like, doing it is better than going to film school.
It's hard though.
It's a totally different. It is,
but
hard.
It's good.
It's hard.
It's good.
So
I made a lot of mistakes.
So those things that you write that you want to direct, do you write those any differently than you write the other ones?
No, they're just stories. I think that I have a certain. They take a place in my heart. That are just
that you just need to
and
see
a
those
lot of those
there.
Started out as images.
Sure.
They weren't even story. They were images that just stayed with me and then became a story.
Well, that's a good way of describing it, because that's the difference right there, right? Is like when you there's just something when you're writing something that you're going to direct, you can see it, and no matter how good a writer you are, and no matter how good a pitcher you are, you're never going to communicate that exact thing to someone until you're
or will you be allowed to?
Yeah.
I've also had trouble though with writer-directors who then have said, "Can I get some notes on this script?" And I'm like, "Well, like it's bare bones."
Oh, for sure.
It's like because everything's in here.
That's exactly right. Yeah,
and I'm like, that's very good. However, if you want to raise any money or you want to sell this to anyone, you need to put some of the stuff that's going on in there down on this page. So
that's exactly right. And that's how this thing that I got to direct came about. Is like we were realizing that we were realizing everything we were writing to try to make was too big, even like $1 million, which people say is small. Still too big. People are like, I like your writing, but that's too much money to invest. Because that's a lot of money.
Yeah.
But also, like, weren't getting the, like, no, this is what we're trying to accomplish with this script. You'll see it when we direct it. It's like, no, that doesn't work. So that's kind of what the seed of what we started. It's just like, okay, well, let's write something that is communicating everything we want to say, and that's our main goal with this. It's
that's great.
Very clearly do that at this budget level. And it went fast and it worked.
I think we've been talking about this a tiny bit, and I'm interested to. Diane is fundraising for her film, so Carissa, our lovely social media manager, has her link, so we're going to send that to you. But there is something about choosing a project, so kind of like the reason why, and using genre to express a story.
Right.
So having a kind of a bigger idea. And then choosing a certain way of telling it, and I think you definitely did that with.
For sure, yeah. I never in a million years thought I was going to be directing a horror movie. Now I love it. I genuinely love it. But I didn't come from a horror background or anything.
Right. But you can still tell social issues through a genre.
And mine was the rise of anti-Semitism in this country. It just made me so upset, and I had a friend that had a story that the two entwined. It's like having a chance to say, "Be brave." Yeah. And also, it's a girl, so it's girl power. And girl power. Be brave, and let's not let this happen again. The never again thing is so important to me. Sure. I was very inspired when I was a kid by Anne Frank.
Right.
And very inspired. She just to this day, I get goosebumps when I think of what kind of human being she was. And
for such a young person.
Yeah, that's it. The story that I tell in Trust, she's 14, getting herself out of revealing to a Nazi lieutenant what their family's identity is. And I'm thinking, oh my God, when I was 14, I cared about boys.
Yeah.
Right.
That was it. Yeah. There was nothing else.
Yeah.
And so, my God, it just so impressed me. So there you go. That's the desire, and let's say something and create something, at the same time.
And I think I've read the script, and it is so magical in the fact that it is so much about the visual. Rather than, because I think maybe that's another one of my wines. I like to overwrite. It comes from the actor in me. Yeah. Whereas in fact, you can say so much especially if you cast it correctly and if you get the visuals right, working with a good DP.
That's a good point. Just in terms of screenwriting, we read a lot of scripts that I can tell that when a writer wants to direct it, but is overriding the the prose and the action, because it's just like then they go into this room and we follow them and we dolly back and all that stuff, the stuff that doesn't need to be in the script.
Yeah,
No, everyone goes, there's a dolly.
Yeah.
What's she doing? Is she a creepy one with her eyelashes that just do that non-stop?
No, my
We always say that together when we see that in a script. We go, "What is this dolly doing?"
Yeah.
We call each other.
Who brought the dolly? Is it Chucky?
Yeah.
Is it Chucky and the dolly?
Chucky's sister.
Right, but that is good. I mean, even for writers to know, even if you have an eye on directing the script, it doesn't mean you should put that stuff in the script, because people don't like to read that, no matter what.
I guess what I think about this, though, I mean, because I think, as we say, you don't want to direct all your films.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if you want to direct everything that you write. But this idea of, as a writer, having a go with your iPhone or with some friends or with a Canon or with, you know, to actually start seeing what the process is like.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Because I think it'll inspire your writing in a different way. I think it will really open up a different kind of part of your brain for even as you're starting to write moving
Absolutely.
forward.
And you were an actor and a writer, so you know this, but like, you know, for Jesse and I, and you can speak to this too, writing, you know, we pride ourselves on our dialogue. That's kind of our specialty. And working with professional actors and going like, oh, that's how you interpret that line. That's wild. That's not how we thought about it. But in a good way too, you know.
Yeah.
But it has informed how we write going forward too. It has informed being cognizant about how people interpret lines. I think the big thing for us, especially, is we overdid trying to make every line sing or be funny or something like that. And you just don't need to do that, because actors will add their own, you know, pizzazz to it and stuff. And I love that. I love actors. Actors have the craziest job.
Me too.
Yeah. So I mean, has working with actors and seeing them interpret your lines or anything, has that changed the way you've written or anything?
Well, I started out playwriting, and when I was working with actors playwriting, I was really open to, because I really respected my. They were my crew from my acting class, you know. So I really respected their opinion, and I let them do a lot of addition.
Yeah,
you know, I let that happen. I'm a little different now with film, because first of all, it's a different medium, and there is a visual thing that's going to be going on that they may not be aware of.
Absolutely.
So being clear. But I also like to like we just had auditions, so that's I haven't worked with these actors yet, but. Okay. We have a brilliant cast. I am so grateful.
Great.
I'm so excited.
Awesome. Yeah.
I can't even tell you.
Yeah.
But
it feels so good when you
oh
have
my
that
God.
place. Like, oh my God. You can kind of start to see it all come to life. Yeah.
And one of the actors walked in, and he just took it.
Yeah.
And I let him.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, he's going to want me to be there to say, okay, she's doing this or whatever. But I knew that this man had he had the character. He knew that character, and he interpreted how I saw it, which is like, it's amazing when that happens. Yeah. So I was just thrilled, and you know, and he even referenced something that I had thought about when I was writing another film.
Oh wow, and that's incredible! Yeah,
yes. So it was very exciting, and. Yeah, I think that's one of my biggest lessons. I'm very new to directing and filmmaking, but as casting.
Yeah, casting is everything.
Not just talent, but vibe.
Yeah.
Knowing you're gonna want to be together and work with this person, and you know, it does become a little mini quick family.
Yeah, it does, and actors all just like writers do. They all have a different way of working, so you have to know how to like. This actor maybe wants a line reading, which is, you know, that's wild. And then this actor wants the theme.
Don't you dare!
I worked with actors that straight up said, give me line readings.
Oh my God. Wow.
On Attic. So I was like,
sorry. Verbal.
I am so sorry to get you riled up, Felicity.
I've gone bright pink.
I would never. But some people do
I think the difference is like, with a film, maybe a line reading is going to work because you just have to say it once or twice and they catch it on the camera, and then it's done. Yeah. With a play, a line reading never works because you don't have the intention behind it. Right. And when you do that over and over again, you just like the line becomes, I'm trying to say it in the way they said it, and like 3 weeks later you can't remember how they told you it, and it became, you know, you don't have the thought behind it.
Right.
And so I guess that's the thing. I also, because I started in theatre and my ex-husband's a writer, and so I've always been very precious about playwrights' words, and I still run my theatre, and I think because I know how long it took for him to write those words, or sometimes it'd like spill out, but there was always a reason why he'd written them.
Right.
And I feel like I like actors that try it first. Try it the writer's way first.
Absolutely.
And then if you think there's something else, or you come up with a great idea, then let's have a conversation about it. But don't just think you know better.
Right.
You know, I mean, you didn't write fucking thing. Arrogant shit face.
Right. It's all got to start from the text. I feel like whether it's a blueprint or it's you are delivering these lines exactly. It's all got to start from there.
Yeah.
So just attempting at that is at least ground.
That's the respect.
Base. Yeah.
That's the respect.
Exactly.
To the
respect writers.
Yeah.
Thank you, Felicity.
Respect writers.
Respect writers.
I'm a really big fan, as everyone I think knows. So then you have got your project coming. So you've just done casting. Where are you at with the rest of it?
We've got shoot dates beginning of April, and we just got greenlit. So
woo!
Congratulations!
Cheers to that.
Thank you! Woo! Yes, very exciting.
It's genuinely exciting.
It is.
Congrats.
So we can do it now. Post is another whole thing, but we're going to make it. That's what counts.
Happen.
We're going to shoot, and it was Seed and Spark.
Sorry, guys.
And they were great. And then we also did Pitch Her Productions for our fiscal sponsorship, which means people can have a tax write-off, which is a great thing, especially if you're asking for a little extra. It's like that's helpful.
Yeah.
I learned
What's
a lot.
Called?
Fiscal sponsorship.
Fiscal
sponsorship.
Look that up.
And do you want to shout out your Seed and Spark website right now, or?
I think it's come out. We did it. It's www.thefilm-trust.com.
Yeah, and Seed and Spark is just go to Trust, and that will be there
gotcha.
too. But if you want to donate money, you go to the website.
Right.
I already accomplished Seed and Spark, but then we'll probably have to do it again for a post.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. You've got the film, and then you have to try and turn it into something. And then, so you've got the film. Then what? Then what happens?
Festivals.
Yeah.
That's it. Festivals. I'm putting in extra special time and money and energy because I did the unlearning phase, and now I'm like, okay, I want to develop something very fine and complete.
Yeah.
Right. The others were like, running through parks and,
Sure,
filming
sure,
like
sure,
this
sure.
and
The other films you've made.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
and quick and and this one we're going to take 2 days to shoot, which is like a lot of time.
How many pages?
12.
Okay, that's not bad.
Nice.
12 pages.
Yeah.
That's still quite a lot. I mean, I think that's the thing about it. Are you doing all the research now to find out the festivals that this would be suitable for, and that kind of like this kind of work?
Some my producers are doing a lot of that, but I have to dig into
That's
that
great
too.
that you have people to do that, though.
Oh, yeah, they're
It's
amazing.
such a luxury.
Yeah.
Renee
Yeah.
Dorian, Cassandra Coppola, who's not a Coppola, but she's just as good.
I would just kind of keep going Coppola.
Yeah,
Coppola.
yeah.
Just call her
but
like
they're amazing. These women teach me every day.
Just call the film Coppola. Just see what happens.
That'd be so funny.
Yeah.
You'd be fine with that.
Yeah. It's fine. That's great. I mean, hopefully the festival circuit still exists after what's going on in the world today.
I don't know,
But,
but the thing is, I feel like this, it's gonna the whole thing is adaptation, not the movie with
Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage.
Yeah, that's great.
Meryl Streep. Yeah,
Have you heard of her? Are you familiar?
Actually, my first ever review said I was a young Meryl Streep.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah,
Nice.
Wow.
That's a compliment.
I know. So
there will be adaptation too.
And I think that's the thing about it is that the good news is that we have an online streaming platform, so I think people will be able to watch. You'll be able to do it online, so you'll be able to kind of like stream festival movies from online, or they'll have to develop a portal. They'll have to. I mean, a friend of mine does a online audition service called weaudition.com. Darren Darnborough, he is a great supporter of the
Shout out
ISA.
to
He
Darren.
did some stuff with us, didn't he, at the table read? That you
He
directed
helped us
in
at Sundance. Yeah, Tipper.
and I was going to say that's the other thing when we do the table reads, and I used to cast it. So I touched you. Sorry.
That's okay.
Just like going to the sun or something. Burn that jumper when you get home. is that it's so nice when the writer, if you do the casting right, and they start to come in, and the writer goes like, "There's that character, there's this one," and it's so nice.
They
Even
know
on
ahead
the
of time.
table read,
I
they start
love
to
it.
say hello to the. They're like, "Oh, I know who that is." It's so wonderful.
Yeah.
But Darren has done a lot of work, but he has produced an online casting platform, and I think actually that's going to be going ahead. So I feel like we'll just have to adapt, and it will just be.
Yeah.
I just hope it isn't for too
Not
long.
going to be forever.
No. It's just gonna, and
It won't be. And there is already an adaptation going. South by Southwest, people are still they have reached out to all the sales agents and stuff. They're still going to cover the films. They're going to put them online when they can. And because that's devastating not only to, the festival and the economy of Austin and all that stuff, but to the filmmakers. A lot of these people are, that was going to be their launching pad. And so, you're right. You're absolutely right. There will always be adaptation. And so...
but I just don't want us all just to have to spend our time in front of computer screens getting colossal because we're not allowed outside. You know what I mean?
Getting what?
Getting fatter and fatter. Like every time colossal. Just like massive, like...
That sounds important.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound important.
Yeah.
Being colossal.
It's like getting colossal.
I'm getting colossal.
Yeah.
Getting colossal. I'm so colossal. Or is it only me that's sitting at home eating chips? Am I the only
No. Yeah. I will eat everything. Anything and everything.
Yeah.
If I'm at home, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
that's it. As opposed to writing.
Right. So, and forgive me for not knowing this, but is Trip, that's not what you went through. Trust, sorry. That's not what you went through Stowe with.
No.
This is a whole separate project.
Yeah. Stowe was Wonder and Lightning, which the ISA
That's right, yes. Very familiar with
support
Wonder
of.
and
Yeah. I love that script.
That's right.
I love that script. That makes me happy, that one.
Yeah.
That one happened because, again, image. Maybe I would want to direct this, I don't know. But I was driving in Malibu, and I saw this little girl, and she was leaned back in a old, beat-up, old Datsun. Her hair's flicking. She had a cigarette or a joint sticking out of the side of her mouth. And she was so far back that she had to do this to see over the window. And she's like...
Yeah.
And she looked out, and I went... She's mine.
Yeah.
I didn't know what I was going to do with her, but she's mine. And a surfboard on the car.
Yeah.
So that was it. That was, and then eventually, I came up with the story.
I actually love to talk to you about that. So I mean, is that? I know you start with images, and in every script starts from a different place, obviously, but that's a very character focused. Way of starting, and that's what I like too, and that's what I've had to teach myself. That I've had to learn that's the way forward.
I was an actor, so I think
okay. Well,
that's
that's usually kind of how you start, is the characters and kind of build out from there.
Yeah, that's how you. That's the key. That's the opening.
It is with so many writers, including me. When I started,
you went very high then.
Including me.
There were only dogs.
I haven't even shown you all my range. My range is incredible.
This is amazing. Something to look forward to, viewers.
Yeah, but I think especially I focus on features, and features, is you're taught to have a hook and act one, 2, and 3, and a plot and all that stuff, and it took me a while to, even though I love characters the most, to realize that you got to start from the character and derive the hook and everything from that character.
Yeah.
And I actually learned that from watching from this TV boom, because TV was never my thing, but Breaking Bad onward, they've learned how to just they've talked about the character dictates the plotting basically, and I used to focus so much on theme and all that stuff, and it ties into what you said earlier. It's that's not always going to be clear to people that read it. It's don't you get the themes and everything? It's no one cares about that. You know, that'll be there if you get the character. Yeah, if you get the character right, all that stuff will be there.
Well, they'll start to care anyway, because they've hooked into the story through the character.
Exactly.
By caring. And I think that's the thing that TV has allowed the writer to do, and the actors, and for everyone, is we've got to invest for an amount of time. We spend 5 years with some people into their lives. I think also... Definitely, they used to happen in the soaps in the UK. I don't know if it happens here. The writers would start to write to the character's own personality traits.
Yeah,
so the
exactly.
the actors themselves would definitely bring their kind of
absolutely.
They got a little bit of a snitty, then that would definitely start to grow into a
and that's an only TV thing, is you can watch season 4 or 5 of something, and then you go back and watch season 1, you're like, oh, they're not the same at all.
I feel like Friends did that
for sure.
Absolutely. They obviously had those main beats about
brilliantly too.
They did it together.
Right.
Ron says he's looking forward to Trust.
Oh, thank you. Yay.
Thanks, Ron.
Me too.
You are.
Well, that's good. We are glad that you're looking forward to it.
Yeah. So you're starting in April, you said?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
okay. Yeah.
No, I think
We're
it's
so
going to be
excited.
great. And I think that's the thing about it is I want everyone to start thinking about what you can do to move your career forward. And if there is a chance even to do a short little, shoot a little proof of concept or put together a mood reel or a sizzle reel, start thinking visually as a writer. Because I think even without realizing it, it will make you a better writer on the page if you've actually gone and looked at movie clips and put together an idea.
Absolutely. Yeah, see how those things connect. And then just go and do it. Even at the smallest level, because working with actors and working with the team, it's going to inform your writing. Absolutely. So, and it's only going to make you better.
I always think the thing is I realize that I am an actor because the scripts I like the best are always written by actors because it comes from that kind of character journey in.
Because all those questions you ask of each, at least I do. I'll ask all the questions of their background and but I learned that as an actor. I didn't learn that as a writer.
Right.
You know? But
then that gives you so much juicy enough.
Oh, sometimes I go,
juicy enough.
I didn't know they did that.
Yeah.
And I'm writing the person, but I didn't know something about it. And I go, oh, that would change that.
Right.
My favorite thing is when actors go like, "You meant this at this point, didn't you?" in the script, and the writer goes like, "Yeah, Tony meant that." So didn't, and it kind of comes up really smart, and you're like, "Oh, subconsciously I was writing that." Yeah. Thank you for pointing it out.
Yeah.
I love that.
Right. But that's why people like Taylor Sheridan have had recent success lately, because a lot of people start as actors, and then he was like, I'm just going to start writing stuff. And he had success with Sicario and movies like that. I definitely think and I think that comes from, if you haven't, just make something. Like, I really think it's
You made a good point with use your phone. I mean, I've seen people post things that they just did little few minutes on a phone.
Fantastic.
Exactly. Steven Soderbergh almost exclusively shoots on an iPhone now. His last 3 movies have been on an iPhone. That's what was the seed of our thing we were like, let's write something that we can make if we don't get anyone interested on a phone if we have to. And I do think there's also something to that too, is just telling, instead of going like, hey, I'd really like to make this, what do you think? Just going like, we're making this, get on board. Yeah. I think people really respond to that, Right. Yeah, to that kind of, I don't know, mentality.
Very much. Well, when I found our locations, I was passionate about the locations, and the producers were going, might be a little expensive. And that was like where I dug my heels in a little and said, no, we need this.
Yeah.
We need this because there was something important to me that was perfect.
Yeah.
Well, also locations add so much value to a movie.
Oh, yeah.
And it's almost undeniable if the location is right. It adds incredible value just for the actors and the feelings and it adds a whole other element.
Yeah.
It's worth spending the money on.
It adds almost like a juiciness.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Okay, there's a door, and there's it's this old door with one of those peak holes that has grid.
Yeah, the grid.
And so the mom's going to open that and see the Nazi lieutenant. I was freaking out. I was like, I want to shoot right there. I want to see that.
Yeah.
Because you're going, it was chilling. Just I made my production designer to go stand there, and I would go, she wasn't
never
scary at all.
The actor never leaves you.
It never does. So I just want to do a quick wahey then. So we did our wines.
Right.
So what's our wahey?
Our other new segment, Wahey Wednesday.
Wahey Wednesday.
Wahey
I think that I will never stop laughing about Wahey Wednesday. Would you like to go first?
No, I won't.
You do not want to go first.
What do you love about writing?
I would say lately, this comes from reading a bunch recently, as our job dictates. It's voice, and finding voice always gives me a wahey feel. Like it kind of like, and you know it within 5 pages, just like, whoa, this has a voice. Our recent Shoot Your Sizzle winner, Meg Swertlow, we read her script, and you found that script, and it had a voice, and it was just like, wahey.
Yeah, wahey.
Yeah, and I think that's because that's something that can't be taught, and whether it develops or you have it immediately, whatever it is, it's it overcomes everything else to me, because you can go in and you can teach them structure.
It's not technique, yes.
Exactly, and that stuff is very hard, and you have to learn that stuff too. But voice is kind of innate in that. And when you see it, I just love it. I get a good feeling about that.
I think the good thing about that, though, is that everyone has a voice. It's just whether or not you're going to be brave enough to use it.
Oh, absolutely. Everyone does.
So you all have that voice. It's just whether or not you're going to be using it in your writing.
It's unlocking it.
Yeah.
How
about you, Dan?
Okay, for me, I would say, just because it's my process right now, is people reading a little story that I wrote and going, I want to do that.
Yeah.
You know?
That's a good one.
It's humbling. It's like, you do? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, then let's make a movie. You know? It's kind of exceptional.
That's exactly,
exciting.
that's kind of that community vibe too. It's just like, because you're in your, by yourself in your room typing this thing out, and to get people that go like, oh yeah, this is cool, like I want to be involved with this. It's so rewarding.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I feel like we kind of go on our hands and knees like this, don't we? Kind of going like,
is it okay?
Could you deign to glance an eye over these words?
Yeah.
And then suddenly they kind of like, oh yeah, it's a good story, or that means something, or God, that's a nice idea, or oh, God, I love the way you talk about that, and you're like, oh, okay. I'm not terrible.
Yeah.
I feel like that's
hey, that's a wahay.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's a good wahay. My wahay is that I think that it's my big thing anyway, but I think it's always that story changes people's minds. And I think changing people's minds with story, I mean, like the story that's happening right now around the coronavirus, and it's making that people feel definitely a certain way. So I feel like that idea about how it's portrayed in the story you're told and the way it's told to you. We're seeing it so clearly on the news, and from kind of false information or true information.
Yeah.
And it really does get in and affect you. And I actually, yesterday I was here alone when it was raining outside and reading a horror script.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. And I felt really unsettled.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, this is because these words on the page are really doing their job.
Right.
And I'm here alone and it's raining outside and it's LA and it never rains, but it does. But, and that makes you feel something. And I feel that under the skin thing with writing is so precious.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
It's absolutely true. Speaking of that, I'm included in this. There's been a large amount of people that have gone back and watched Contagion.
Yes.
The Soderbergh movie.
So
I have not.
Right, because it's terrifying, right? No, it is.
Well, I think
scary.
it's because there's a happy ending.
But the other, yes, and it is a great ending with the U2 song and everything. But the other thing about that is some people have found this weird comfort in it, and that is because that movie was made and stories can change the world, and that was put out into the world, and people can go like, oh, I can turn to this, in this weird time we're in the world. Yeah, it's weird how that kind of worked, like, because I felt that way too. I was just like, why do I feel the need to watch Contagion right now? But I did, and I felt comforted by it. By that thing was put into the world, and
and some people
movies
died, but not everyone. But not everyone.
Not everyone. That's the happy ending you're talking about. Some people died, but not everyone.
Not everyone.
And you wonder why I choose scripts for a living.
Thank God.
With that articulate summation. Of the
you were
plot.
talking about pitching earlier. Did they ever, hit at that? It's like just saying, like, well, some people died, but not everyone. That's the pitch.
I feel like I've really...
And to make me laugh.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did you, maybe I should finish with this. Have I ever told you my actor story from the first job I ever went out for?
No.
Okay. Everyone, I apologise in advance. Okay, so it was a TV show called Spooks in the UK. And it's actually had quite a long run. I think it still even might be on. And we're talking 100 years ago when I was first acting. And I came out of drama school, and I was supposed to be. My photo made me look a few years younger than I was. So I kind of came in the room, and you can tell first off, I was supposed to be a mother of a 6-year-old and an 8-year-old, and I just didn't look like I'd had kids. So I kind of come in, and you can get that feeling of the groan, as you kind of go like, oh, you're not here, as you kind of come in the door. But they have to go through because you've done the work, you've learnt the lines.
Yeah.
So everyone's there and you kind of go in. And it was a big explosion. Literally, she's kind of driving away with the kids in the car. She looks in her mirror at her husband, who is the head spook. And she kind of goes like, see you later, like that. And the next thing is like...
He explodes.
No, we do. The car.
Oh, you explode?
Yeah, the car with the kids. It was obviously it's a lead role.
God.
Killed first episode.
Wow, I was not expecting that.
A quick lead.
Yeah, very quick, very intense.
You
Obviously,
and the
I was
kids.
then a ghost.
Just-
no,
okay.
I wasn't really a ghost. But anyway, so it's that whole thing, and I could tell already that I hadn't got it.
Yeah.
But But I thought, okay, well, I'll do the thing anyway. So I went, okay, so I see it like this. And I did the whole thing, reversing, look in the mirror. Yeah, hard. Acting. And then I went, and then I did this face. And I laid my head on the desk with my tongue out.
Yeah. That's clearly what happens after explosions. Cut the close-up of head on the desk.
Lipstick pop.
Yeah.
As if I was dead. And there was a very long silence. Everyone was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
And then, thank God, they laughed. And it was fine. And I was like, thank you so much. I got to kind of go.
Oh, that's great.
I don't think they're in the wrong. I maybe agree with their silence. Because I would actually be like, kind of like, wow, she really went for it. She had a take and she did it. And I need to process that a bit. I like that.
I just kind of knew, because you always know, that's the thing. It's like the same as when that guy walked in, you knew.
Yeah.
The same as I walked in, I could see their little slump, and I was like, okay,
Yeah,
this is
you need to
got
liven
it.
things
So now
I have to remember not to ever slump.
yeah, trying to do the slump. You don't even mean to. But that's the thing, is we're so connected, we kind of get that little moment, whether you mean to or not, we get it. We get it.
Yeah.
So, so just remember, if you want to impress anyone, do a dead face.
Right.
Well, I think that's about Wine Wednesday wraps up, everybody.
Lovely.
Thank you so much. You have been
Thank
the most
you.
excellent
Thank you so
guest.
much. Yeah.
Thanks. That was fun.
Truly an excellent
so
guest.
Wonderful. And Jerren, you were a very good first-time host.
Thank you,
Hello.
Felicity.
But don't touch. Corona. Yeah. Jazz hands. No touching.
Yeah.
No touching.
Thank you for allowing me to be on, everybody. Thank you, Max.
Cheers.
Cheers.